December 3rd and day 3 of my StitchMas with me. I normally would film my floss tip on Friday morning, but I don't have time today. So I'm going to just do the Stitch With Me video and try to do my floss tip tomorrow on Saturday. And so yeah, let's get started. I have day 3 of my advent calendar from Vicki. And this was her gift to me for the Stacy C. Stitches Secret Santa exchange. And I can't remember. I said yesterday it wasn't an ornament exchange. It was a smalls exchange. But honestly, I don't know which one it was. I don't know if it was an ornament or smalls. Mine was a small ornament. So, I mean, that's what I made. I want to say it was a smalls exchange. Which could be an ornament. Yeah. So anyway, let's get started. It is soft, but it's not as puffy as yesterday, so I have no idea what it is. Oh my gosh. Hand dyed by Rolanda 32 count opalescent Lugana ornament pack. Wow, that's a cool color. I already know what I want to stitch on it. That is West Virginia University gold. I need to do something. Well, no, I can't say that for sure. But my first inkling is I need to stitch something for West Virginia on this in a navy blue. Oh my gosh. My mom would love that if I stitched like a West Virginia. Oh, thank you, Vicki. This is so pretty. So pretty. I don't know if the actual color is on there. So that's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I have to find some kind of West Virginia. Or I could just chart out the West Virginia by myself. That's what I need to do. I can make one for me, one for my mom, one for my dad and stepmom, and one for my best friend, Andrina. Yay! Thank you, Vicki. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the next one is from Tracy. I'm going to just reach in the box. Yesterday I pulled out 2. She said I could get Parker or Mike to pull something out, but I still would see it, so I don't know what this is. I would kind of reach down the bottom. Ooh. This looks like the day 1 package. Oh! A beautiful fat quarter, and this matches that sparkle from the first day. Oh, that's so pretty. This would look so good in a project bag or anything. In a quilt. Thank you so much, Tracy. That is so pretty. I was thinking, I was like, if Candace shows hers and I show mine, we're going to, if we have the same thing, we're going to know. Ooh, that's a good Halloween orange. $9.71. Oh my goodness. This is so fun. Thank you so much, Tracy. Oh, wow. Look at that. This is very pretty. All of it's very pretty. That's the perfect Halloween color. I used that color a lot this year on Halloween stitching. Thank you all so much. And I was trying to reply to comments, and I was having trouble with my... It's the not regular YouTube app, but the YouTube Studio app, which is what you use when you upload videos. I was having trouble. It started showing me comments from like in October. So I can't see my new comments. So I'm going to try to go into regular YouTube and reply to y'all's comments, because a lot of people commented and I didn't get a chance to reply back. So this is going to be a short one today. I probably won't go the full 25 minutes unless I stop talking, because I have to go pick my mom up and take her to get a haircut. We're both getting haircuts together. so I have to leave and pick her up here in a little bit. So I think I'm going to take a break from the antler and start on these houses. So there is, let me find my color key. What do I do with my color key? Color key. I don't have it. What in the world did I do with it? I don't have the... I guess I could probably figure out what that is. Maybe I have to do... It's not white. Is it? Okay, I know that one. The first house is 3024. That's almost the same color as the antlers. Look how close that is. That is super close. Well, no, once you put them together, they're not that close. Alright, so I did start my hands-on design cookies out. I will show y'all a sneak peek of that. So, I'm not sure if it's showing up, but I dyed this fabric myself. It took 3 times to get the color I wanted and 3 different kinds of fabric because I was just using scraps that I had. And I love this color, so I'm going to get some even weave. I know it won't dye the same because it's even. Well, maybe I could get linen. But I love this color, and I want to try to get a bigger piece. This is 16 count, and I have to say, I don't like stitching on 16 count. I like 32 count linen, but 16 count Aida, I feel like, and it may have shrunk a little bit from me dyeing it, but yeah, I just have trouble on 16 count Aida. Whenever I have a project on a 16 count, it just lingers. So, I don't know what it is. But this is a tiny project, as you can see. It's not big. So I started on that this morning. That's the cookie exchange by Hands-On Design. So today's Friday. Parker's last day of school this week. And let me tell you what, I am ready for the weekend. Oh my goodness. It has been such a busy week. Such a busy week. It's so funny because whenever I pick him up, 3 of the 4 days I picked him up, he has like ratted somebody out. Like the first thing he does is like tell on somebody. So I can't remember if I've already said this, but the first day I picked him up and he wasn't really talking, but when he did talk, like a little while later, we were like, well, how was school? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm starting in the wrong spot. That's supposed to be white. He was like, somebody said the N word. And I was like, oh, no. Well, actually, he said somebody said the N word in math. And I said, did your teacher hear? And he said, I don't think so. So, that was the first day. Then the second day he gets in the car and he actually tells me right away because he was chomping at the bit to tell me because the teacher, he has 2 teachers. Well, he has 2 regular teachers. He has his homeroom teacher and then he switches classes for math and I don't know which one it is. One does ELA and social studies. I think the other one does math and science. So the math teacher made a comment that hurt his feelings. And he said he's not on grade level for math. He really struggles with math. And his biggest issue is he does not like writing. So he wants to do everything with mental math. Well, you know, you can do that up to a certain point. But once you get to harder stuff, you need to write down the problem. So then he just kind of hits a wall. Anyway, he really struggles with math. He's actually very good at math, but he has this self-esteem mental block that he has convinced himself that he's not good at math. But he's always been really good with numbers. He struggles with writing, handwriting, and writing. So that really gets in the way of math. He is so good at like doing oral reports and things like that, but if you ask him to write something, he probably has dysgraphia. I have always assumed he had dysgraphia. He'll get officially tested. It's like dyslexia, but for writing. It's so anyway, he said that he was telling her the math was too hard, and I'm sure he was complaining and getting on her nerves, because I've heard every complaint he could possibly make homeschooling him. I know what he says when he gets mad about math. But she told him if it was supposed to be easy, he would be in kindergarten or something like that. Well, that hurt his feelings. And he was upset. And then I got upset because he was upset. So we're going to discuss that comment. I'm going to assume that she was just frustrated and maybe she didn't mean it the way it sounded. Maybe she was just trying to encourage him to be a big kid and try big kid math. I don't know. I'm going to partially give her the benefit of the doubt. So we'll discuss it. I'm like on the teacher's side. I'm not trying to fight the teacher. But he was really upset. And I have to take that into account. So my husband was like, whew, he was really upset. I didn't even tell my mother-in-law because my mother-in-law would have flipped out. Okay, that is not showing up very well, but I guess once I get it stitched it will. It's the Called For colors. It's just so close to that color. So then Wednesday, I don't think he made a comment Wednesday. I don't think he ratted anybody out on Wednesday. But yesterday he gets in the car. He says, I said, how was school? He hadn't even buckled, well, no, he had just buckled his seatbelt, and he said the little boy's name was drawing pictures of his private parts. I'm like, yeah, welcome to poet school, bud. Oh, gosh. So, he says he likes it. He's still happy with everything. Oh, okay. I should have done the windows first because I'm already getting lost. I'm going to stop and do the windows first. I don't typically like to do black before I do light colors, but the windows and the roof are so spread out that I can just really see myself getting messed up. But I'm so impressed. He had his test on World War I today, and I think he's going to do really well. I can't believe how much he picked up this week. In 4 days. I mean, he picked up so much. He did get in trouble, though, because he had a writing assignment, and he refused to do it. So we have to discuss that. So, like I said, when it comes to writing, he, like, shuts down. So, we have to figure out a plan to, he's going to have to go to resource class for writing. But even with that, it's like you have to be right with him. He has a hard time. Hard time. If you say, okay, he had to read an article and then write an essay on it. Well, if you say, read this article and tell me what it's about, he'll sit there and tell you everything. But if you say, now write down what you just told me, or type it, he freezes up. So, yeah, he needs help in that area. So we have that meeting on Monday to get his plan, his educational plan. Not an IEP is an individualized education plan, and that is like where he gets his that's like the Big Daddy plan, or his rights to get an accommodations for his special needs. But in the meantime, he's going to get something called a 504 plan, which is very similar, but it's just something to do while we wait for all the testing to come back for his IEP. So it's what we get in writing to make sure he's getting accommodation. So I can say, you know, I want him to get help in math. I want him to get help in writing. I want him to be able to wear his headphones, his noise canceling headphones if it's loud. He gets extra time on tests. He gets extra time on this. He gets reduced assignments on this class, so he has more time. So we do all of that. Trying to think what else is going on. So I thought it was tomorrow, but tonight we're going to my friend's church and we're doing like a marriage thing. And then in the morning is the parade. Parker and I were going to ride with Mike in the parade, but I'm not sure if we still are. If we don't ride with Mike in the parade, then we'll just go over here and sit across from my house at the church. It's the end of the parade, so that way Parker can still see it, but it's not overwhelming for him. What did I do wrong? Oh, this pattern and me are not getting along today, because I'm yapping and not paying attention. So he wanted to watch this movie called Ron's Gone Wrong. It's a kid's movie. And so I found it last night and played it for him, and he loved it so much. As soon as his dad got home, he made his dad sit there and watch it with him, and it was so cute because as it was coming on, he was like telling his dad, he was like spoiling the scene before it came on. And so he watched it 2 times, and then when he got up this morning, he started watching it for the 3rd time. It's been a long time since he's been that into any kind of movie like that. So he wants to go see the new Spider-Man movie. So hopefully when it comes to theaters, we can take him to see that, because he really likes that. Okay, now let me see if I can do this. What did I do wrong? 1, 2, 3. Did I stitch that wrong? I am so lost. Okay, skip 2, do 2. Maybe it was right. Oh, it's because these colors are so much. I thought this was this color. That's what I did wrong. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, he really liked that movie. Okay, let me do this again. Exact stitches I just took out. Stormy got outside this morning. Mike woke me up about 5:40, and he was leaving for work. His mom and him work together, and normally they drive separately, but one of our vehicles needs fixed, and it needs a new water pump, so he's been riding to work with her. And then I pick him up in the afternoon because she gets off work an hour early. But anyway, so she gets off work an hour earlier than him. So anyway, he woke me up at 5:40 and he said, Stormy got outside. And he had to leave for work, so he couldn't stay to get her. So my mother-in-law was parked out in the middle of the road, and this car came up behind her, and my husband, and her, she was trying to help get the cat too. So I guess her and my husband, ran to the car and, jumped in and drove off, probably a little too fast because my mother-in-law gets a little bit of lead foot when she's late for work. So, I put my robe on, and I step outside, and my neighbor's like, she gets out of her car. She was the one that pulled up behind him, and she's like, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, nothing's wrong. They were just late for work because my cat got out. She was like, okay, I thought something was wrong because that was very unusual for y'all to, have something like that go on. She's like, somebody was parked in the middle of the road, and then they just jumped in the car and drove off. I was like, I guess she thought somebody was, because my front door was open, too, and I got this tangled up. I guess she thought somebody was, maybe trying to break in or something. I don't know. It was funny, though. I was like, no, it's okay. So then it took me 30 minutes to get that daggone cat back in the house. Oh, my gosh. And if Parker had found out that she got out, because he is so scared. I mean, he worries himself to death about that cat. If he even thinks he hears the front door opening, he comes flying through the house. Wait. I mean, he's so scared that she's going to get out. And she's fine temporarily. I mean, it's not like anything's going to happen to her. But what she does is she runs from under one car to the next car. And you can't catch her. So what we started doing was when she gets out, we use the laser pointer to get her to play with the laser. And then when she runs towards the laser, we catch her. Well, she's figured that out. So she's like, y'all ain't gonna get me. So she doesn't fall for the laser pointer trick. So I had to just wait for her to wear herself out playing to where she would slow down enough for me to grab her. And thank goodness he hadn't woke up yet, because if he had woke up, it probably would have ruined his whole day. He would have just been so stressed all day as something happened to her. So, yeah. And what's crazy is her and Kiki look so much alike. The bigger Stormy gets, the harder it is to tell them apart. I mean, if you're just sitting there looking at them, you can tell them apart very easily. But in the dark, they look like the same cat, except for Stormy has a squirrel tail. We call it squirrel tail. She has a fluffy tail that has silver on the end. So we call her squirrel tail. So you have to look. So in the dark, when she's outside like that, especially when I first wake up and my eyes are still a little blurry, I grabbed Kiki and she went, "Roar!" Like, well, that's the wrong cat. And then Kiki, is the way she got out is my husband thought it was Kiki going outside, because Kiki's fine. She goes in and out. She has her perimeter. She does not run off. She's safe. She's fixed. You know, she's fine. She is our porch cat. She hangs out in the driveway on the porch. I mean, the only time she leaves is if we leave. Like if I go across the street at the church and Parker rides his bike or something like that, or if we're walking to the park, she'll follow us till the end of the parking lot and then she'll go back home. She did follow him to school one day. When he went to school over here by my house, she followed us all the way over there and I had to grab her and run her back home. But generally, you know, she doesn't. So yeah. I'm talking. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stitching. I'm so lost. But yeah. I got her in the house before he got out of bed. So he doesn't know that she got out. Oh my goodness. That cat. So yeah, my husband was opening the door and he thought it was Kiki that ran out and it was Stormy, and then he said he saw a flash of her squirrel tail and he realized it was her. And I did get good news yesterday. I did get the scholarship, or it's called a scholarship. It's like a grant to make up for my tuition. So I have enough grants and scholarships to start back at school next month. And I got sidetracked and I never said what I was doing. I'm doing medical coding and billing. So that's what I'm doing. It should take me this spring, summer, and next fall to get it done. So yeah, I forgot to mention actually what I was doing. I always thought that was one of those jobs that like, or kind of like scams, like it's a job that they would get you to like take a class for, but there really wasn't a job. I don't know. But then a couple of people that I go to church with, they started doing it for their job, and that's how I figured out, like, I know that sounds dumb, but you know, you'd always see these like advertisements, medical coding and billing, you know, it's like pay $2,500 and get your certificate. So I never really thought about it. And then when these ladies that I know, they're doing it for their job, they work together in the same office, and I learned more about it. I was like, oh, that would be, you know, a job I could do. And you don't have to have a degree. You don't have to have a 2-year degree to do the job. But you have to have, especially if you've never worked in a medical office before, you have to have the knowledge and all the stuff that you get from those classes to pass the exam, to get certified. And the exam's really hard, especially if you've never done that before. So, like my one friend, she didn't get the college degree. She did an accelerated test prep, and it was like 6 or 8 months she took this class. She paid a ton of money for it, and she failed the test the first time. And she's a very smart person, but it was just so much information. And she'd already worked in an office. So I feel like for me, the best choice is just to get the degree, because you, in addition to the medical coding and billing, you're also getting the administrative office technology 2-year degree. So you're learning skills for the medical office jobs in addition to medical coding and billing. So, all right, guys, I'm putting everything away. I've got to get off here and go get my mom and get her hair cut. She didn't feel good yesterday, so she was kind of worried about going, but hopefully she's having a better day today and she can enjoy her haircut. I had wanted to take her, like, you know, to run errands or something to get her out of the house, but she said she'll probably just go back home. So if y'all don't mind saying a little prayer for my mom, she's really struggling right now. And, you know, it's just hard on her. She feels bad all the time. So I hope you guys have a good week, and hopefully I'll be able to film my floss tube tomorrow. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.